Kid, it is the child, it is the child, it is the child. It's your main man here. Double H, half to that flipping hope, man. It's me. It's me. I am back. I am back in the flesh. I am back in the flesh. I have my Ribena here. This is not alcohol, this is Ribena. And I just spilled it on myself. How do you spill Ribena on yourself? Yep, it's me. I wasn't late actually. I wasn't late. So this whole thing of being late, if you look at the time, I timed it 5 minutes before I did the logo loading screen, and at the stroke of 10 p.m. BST, I was primarily on time. So you saying that I'm not on time, check your clock, check your watch, check your flipping life. Because I think in your life, you're late. Thank you very much. So look, man, we have a beautiful show for you today. Because again, I have my Ribena here. And also as well, one of the most, you know what I say? I think this is probably one of the most underrated chocolates in the world. Toblerone. You guys caught it. Check. Toblerone. Okay, thank you. Wait, Toblerone. One of the most underrated chocolates in the world. An ice cold Toblerone is money. Ice cold Toblerone is money. So. What's coming up on the show? The 2019 Golden Boy nominees have been announced. We're going to discuss that. Coutinho potentially be back at Liverpool. We'll discuss that as well. Ukraine qualifying for the Euros. Cristiano hitting 700 Gs. Giroud saying that he wants out in January if he is not being used more for Chelsea. So those are the things that are coming up on the show. And also as well, if I have time, I'll try and answer your questions. Remember, guys, if you desperately want a question answered, if you definitely want a shout out or whatsoever, use the super chat. The super chat will always get read out primarily. So, breaking news. Let's start off with some breaking news because, as we all know, in the half of football hot, we was always at the tip of the news. Free Hong Kong, or should I not say that since we are politically incorrect? Free Hong Kong. No. China, please chill out. Chinese people, what's up? Democracy. So the UEFA have responded as they do. They have said that both England and Bulgaria are going to be charged. Interesting. Because I know why Bulgaria will be charged. Why are England going to be charged? Well, apparently, England are going to be charged because their fans were booing during the Bulgarian national anthem. Now, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe I'm going crazy, or so forth. Don't numerous teams boo during under national anthems? I don't think that is an odd thing. So for me, for the England to get reprimanded, so basically they're getting charged because they didn't bring enough stewards and they booed during the Bulgarian national anthem. But we all know what the Bulgarian fans did, and we all know what happened with the Bulgarian head of the FA being forced to resign by the Bulgarian Prime Minister. So people are saying it's for Czech Republic, but the report I saw was they were actually being charged for this particular episode, which is the one against Bulgaria, which I just find odd. So as I said again, I don't really give a crap about UEFA. I think UEFA are a useless organization, and Chefrin and his court and all those people, they don't really care. All they want is let's just get rid of all this stuff and let's just move on. That's also all UEFA care about, and even because I've given my thoughts on this whole racism issue and so forth. And it's very simple because, guys, I'm a straight shooter. Anybody who knows HH, you've been watching my show for a long time, you know I shoot straight and I'm a straight shooter. Which is this: you cannot solve racism in society. That's not happening. That is a fool's dream. That is a pipe dream. that is a dream of a guy who lives in a utopia and in a dreamland. That's not anybody who lives in the real world. Okay, all credit to Martin Luther King. I appreciate it and everything. That ain't gonna happen. Okay, the whole thing of all white people and black people working together hand in hand like they are happy will never happen because that's just the ill that is of the human race. But as I've always said, you can always solve racism within the stadiums by having harsher fines and harsher penalties. That makes it for those people that, you know what, there's no point in me being racist for this 90 minutes. I'll be racist outside the stadium, but there's no point in me being racist for this 90 minutes because what I love is being taken away from me. But if you think you're going to now solve racism outside in society and that is how you're going to stop it in stadiums, you're being foolish. But, my dear friends, someone disagrees. He disagrees. Don't you know this chap? He's a Liverpool legend. He's what you would call a top player. Top player, you know. He is, for some strange reason, viewed as the voice of reason. You know, he's somehow viewed as the voice of reason. That, of course, is your boy Jonathan Barnes. So, John Barnes believes that, forget about this whole thing doing incidents and everything, we need to first solve racism in society. Because by first solving racism in society, that is how we can solve racism within stadiums. Because John Barnes truly believes that all of those people who have no proximity to black people, who've lived most of their lives without having any interactions with black people, will somehow, miraculously, because of some great education, because they watched Roots, will learn to love black people and truly appreciate black people. I've never heard of anything more dumb or stupid in my life. Guys, we live in the real world. And I don't think John Barnes is living in the real world here. And for John Barnes, I don't give a crap that you are part of a famous photo. I don't give a crap about because you backheeled a banana skin, you are therefore the voice of racism. I don't give a crap that because you apparently, quote unquote, suffered harsher racism back in the day, you should be the voice. Because wait a minute, John Barnes, were you the only black person that suffered all this racism? How is it that you are the only person people are talking to? I'm sure there were loads of other black people who all suffered racism as well during your time. How come we don't hear from them? Why is it that we always hear from you? Maybe it's because you say the things that the media wants to hear. So obviously, I think Barnes is the guy is just off his head. But there are people on Twitter who disagreed with me. So let me just share you some tweets right now. This is from some dude, maybe a Liverpool fan, I'm not sure. So let me read this out. So he says, oh wow, a pinned tweet. That's one of the arguments. So John Barnes is a coward for speaking facts and not blindly going along with an agenda. We have to tackle the societal problems before fixing the issues in the stadium. That facts is what John Barnes supports. Homeboy, or whatever this guy is called here. So he said we have to tackle the societal problem before fixing issues in the stadiums. Tell me exactly how these societal problems are supposed to be fixed. Please tell me. How is his societal problem supposed to be fixed? So I don't really get where you're coming from, homeboy, because do you really expect from top to bottom you're going to get every single white person in the world to somehow miraculously love black people? That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, so are you going to somehow just get every white person in the world to somehow love black people? That's not how it works. There are people where this is just ingrained in them. They'll always look at black people as lesser. That's just a fact. I'm sorry. I know that's not what people want to hear. I know people want to hear something beautiful and real. They're just some white people who will live their entire lives as being racist and die being racist. And I, as a black man, it's not my issue to try to change their viewpoints. That's just who they are. But he came at me again, you know, and this is what he said. So he said, it's a pity morons. Woo! Now we're getting spicy. It's basically morons like yourself try to judge a man that has done more against the fight of racism than you'll achieve in your lifetime, and has used his own experiences of decades of racist abuse to educate others. You're just an ignorant man on Twitter. Interesting. That's a bit harsh, me calling myself ignorant. So basically, look, the issue here is this, man. John Barnes hasn't really done anything about racism. I have never known John Barnes as being a voice against racism or standing up to racism or launching campaigns to speak about racism. All John Barnes does is pop up on media platforms and just spouts. He either spouts nonsense or stuff without any substance. Yes, genius. If we sorted out the issues of racism in society, of course it will help the issues within within stadiums. Yes, genius. Of course, that's obvious. But how are you supposed to do that practically? Do you have any practical ways of doing that? Because you're just stating the obvious. If you don't have any practical ways of how you're going to solve the societal issues, then I'm sorry, you're spouting nonsense. And you saying that Sancho shouldn't say anything with regards to racism because he didn't receive as much racism as you did makes you look foolish. You giving the viewpoint that the whole Bernardo Silva thing wasn't that serious makes you look foolish. But my thing here, guys, is that why do I have to look at John Barnes? Why do I have to look at John Barnes' face? Why? Why does this dude have to be the voice of racism? Who made him the voice of racism? Who made him the face of racism? I have no flipping idea. So in my view, John Barnes, if you're going to be a sellout, be a sellout in private. Don't be a sellout in public. That's just how I just flipping look at and view that whole point, man. All right, let's get down to why we're really here, man. And while we do that, let's get some flipping lights up in this beat, man. There we go. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah. So, the Golden Boy, and let's press record on that H. Golden Boy thingies have been announced. They have been announced. And we have some very interesting names. I will not lie, we have some very interesting names on this Golden Boy list. So let's just run these down and then we can maybe dissect. Let's see who should win. You got your boy João Felix. You've got Alphonso Davies. Donnarumma. What the hell is Donnarumma doing there? Kang In Lee. Phil Foden. Guendouzi. Haaland. Kai Havertz. Moise Kean. Dejan Joveljic. Delict. Fati. Andrew Quinn. Doniel Malen. This is really hard to read through shades, man. Mason Mount. Rodrigo. Jadon Sancho. Fergan Torres. Vinicius Jr. and Nicolo Zaniolo. So, guys, it's pretty simple about how to do this. Okay, let me read out this super chat real quick. Happy Feets 1835 says, "Free man regarding racism. Stop talking about it." So, who do you mean about free man? I don't know what you mean about free man, but if you're saying that we should stop talking about racism to solve it, sorry, bro. In 2019, I'm going to keep talking about racism until it gets out of certain places with regards to footballing stadiums. So, and if racism is around, I will speak up against it. Sorry, I ain't going to be a John Barnes. So, if we're looking at the Golden Boy Awards list, man, the names for me, I feel this would be my personal shortlist from this shortlist. So let's just see. João Felix, I'm gonna. Alphonso Davies, Donnarumma, no. Phil Foden, no. Guendouzi, yes. He's going to be on the list. Kai Havertz, Delict, yes. Ansu Fati, yes, but with an asterisk. Rodrigo, Mason Mount, Vinicius Jr. So really, I think the names should. If let's say we're going to put it down onto a 3. Oh, what's happening here? So if we're going to put it down onto a 3, okay, oops, sorry, yeah, 3 might resume, sorry. So if we're going to make it into like a final 3, well, we're back, guys. Don't worry, guys. We're back. Chill, chill, chill. We're back, man. YouTube ain't going to take me down, baby. Thank you. Hey, easy, easy. Bricknet, man. It ain't bricknet, baby. So if we're going to break it out into a final 3, I feel that it's going to be João Felix, Ansu Fati, De Ligt, and Guendouzi. That's what I think. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Wait, is Sancho there? Wait a minute. Did I say Sancho? Wait. What the hell am I saying? So sorry. The list is Sancho, Guendouzi, João Felix, and Ansu Fati. That's what I'll say. Those three. But you see, the thing about Ansu Fati is this: is that has Ansu Fati done enough to deserve to be on a short list? I'm not sure. If we take the hype away, what has João Felix really done to be on that short list? For me, João Felix shouldn't be on the. For me, the people that 100% deserve to be in the short list, for me, De Ligt, Guendouzi, Sancho. They're the ones that fully deserve to be in that short list. Ansu Fati has only played what 3, 4, 5 games. How good has João Felix's career been at Atletico Madrid so far? Not that great. So I'm looking at your breadth of a walk. So if I were taking those ones out there, guys, we can't look past. I'm gonna have to ride it with Sancho. I'm gonna have to ride it with Sancho because I believe it's between Sancho and Guendouzi, because you look at Guendouzi, you look at the way that he's broken into the Arsenal team. You look at the impact he's made in the Arsenal team. He's arguably Arsenal's most consistent player. I would say he's maybe Arsenal's third best player. If you look at Aubameyang being the best player, then Lacazette, I think Guendouzi is comfortably their third best player. So to be the third best player of a big club like Arsenal, I think is huge. I think that is flipping huge. So actually, let me just so there we go. So just make that a little bit smaller. There we go. I think that's huge to be a player that, and also when you look at just Guendouzi and what I like about him, very similar to De Ligt. It is the calmness in which he plays the game. So I think my shortlist is De Ligt, Guendouzi, Sancho. That's my final answer. That is my final answer. So yeah, Guendouzi, De Ligt thingy. So for De Ligt, very, very simple. The way in which he plays the defense, I just think oozes confidence, oozes maturity. And he was a very important aspect as to why Ajax got to that semis. But if we're looking at the entirety of how they performed up until now, which is why I don't even put João Felix in the shortlist, De Ligt has had a very shaky start to his Juventus career. And he's even come out and said that, bruh, at Ajax, I was the man. I was the Don. At Juventus, things are very different. I'm having to really learn. I'm having to learn a lot about how, things here are slightly different. It didn't come in me so easy. But when you look at Sancho, don't you dare mention the name of Lingard here, bro. Don't you dare mention the name of Lingard unless you're trolling. Unless you're trolling, okay, then that's fine. But don't mention Lingard as if you're trying to be serious. But if we bring out the name Sancho has been outstanding for Dortmund. And a very strong argument can be said that Sancho is Dortmund's best player. You can make that argument. Um, I think that for me, Sancho is one of my favorite players to watch. He's one of my favorite players to watch. He is a superb superstar talent, you know, and he can still get better. But what he is right now is something that is already superbly amazing. And people may say, okay, then how come he's not translated this for England? My thing is that you look at how Dortmund play and how England play, two very different systems, two very different philosophies. If England were an attacking team in the same vein as Dortmund, you would see Sancho give better performances. Sancho is completely fully at home in the way that Dortmund are playing. So for me right now, 100%, nobody can tell me that a more deserving player of this Golden Boy Award deserves it more than Sancho. No one can. He is the best young player in the world. He is the best young player in the world, and I would very happily put him in. Actually, I even need to do to the rankings. I'm very happy put him into tier two. He easily deserves to be in tier two right now. He's knocking on the door of upper tier two. Let's see what he does in the CL, and in the CL he's knocking on the door of upper tier two. So, but I think when I look at some of those, I mean, for me, it's like I think, guys, there's a lot of hype about João Felix, guys. Let's be real. Let's be real. So, I think João Felix, he came from Benfica, wasn't it? I think it was Benfica that he came from. Apart from that hat trick that he did in the Europa League, what else did João Felix do? Let's keep it real. Apart from the hat trick, what else did João Felix do? Ansu Fati has had maybe 3 or 4 good games. That's it. He literally just for Ansu Fati to even get on this list is amazing because that just shows the kind of impact that he's had in such a short space of time. But bro, the guy just walked into the joint. Okay, the guy just walked into the flipping joint. So you know, it's a bit too much for us to even start thinking that Ansu Fati can even be up for this award because I can't just give the award for 3-4 good games. I'm sorry, I can't. And for me, the whole thing with Ansu Fati is that, guys, let's just relax and chill with this guy. Very similar to João Felix. Remember when João Felix approached Atletico Madrid, they paid all the money like, oh, he's going to be the next big thing. He's going to make Atletico Madrid win the whole thing. Right now, Portugal is struggling to qualify for the Euros. Atletico Madrid, I think everyone is now saying, okay, this guy's into winning nothing. It's now between Real Madrid and Barcelona. Be very careful about hyping players. Be very careful about the hype that they put towards players. João Felix has not yet shown anything to me that he's going to be that superstar player. I still say he's a very good player. I still think that he's a better footballer naturally than Griezmann. But there's nothing there that this guy should be put in the same category as your boy Mbappe. He is not as good as Sancho. João Felix is not as good as Sancho. He's not. I'll keep it real. I've seen more from your boy Ansu Fati than I've seen from João Felix this season. So basically that's why I stand on that thing. I feel and I believe that it should 100% be Jadon Sancho to take home that Golden Boy Award because he 100% deserves that said award. So let's ride in now. Let's just bring up the studio mode, shall we? Let's bring up the studio mode. So for our next topic on the agenda, interesting one that I came across, Coutinho. So I was reading again as I was, just building up to doing this show. I was just reading an interesting article, and we're just talking about Coutinho's situation with Bayern Munich. So as you well know, Coutinho is on loan to Bayern Munich from Barcelona. Now, that's no news flash. But what I've read was Barcelona have said that they are not thinking of keeping Coutinho, that they are so happy with Ansu Fati that they don't want homeboy back. They don't want homeboy back. So the issue is this: if Bayern Munich opt not to buy Coutinho, then there is a path that leads Coutinho back to Liverpool. Because if Bayern Munich don't want to buy him, Barcelona do not want him back because they view Ansu Fati as the answer, as someone who fits into the system and works better with Messi. And you've obviously got Griezmann there, so there's no place for him at Barcelona, which means and leaves that there is a path back to Liverpool for Coutinho. So let's just break this down. I believe Coutinho will have a good season for Bayern Munich. Now, whether he has a great season, an amazing season, a breakout season, or whatsoever, I don't know. But I think he's going to have, at the very least, a good season. Good enough for Bayern Munich to want to buy him. So the issue would be now, how much will that cost? But I do believe that Bayern Munich will want to buy Coutinho, because I feel that if that Coutinho is going to fit into what Kovac wants, and Kovac will say to Rummenigge and Uli Hoeneß that, bro, I want this dude, bring out the checkbook, make it happen. This is the player that I need. I have found the player that fills that void. Importantly speaking, I have found the player that fills in the void for Muller. But the thing is this right now is, if Bayern Munich can't afford Coutinho, if Bayern Munich cannot afford Coutinho, and Coutinho now has to now sort of like, and let's say there's a chance of him going back to Liverpool, should Liverpool take him back? And this is a question that keeps on propping up or down, up or down, up or down. And I've said this many times, that how good was Coutinho really for Liverpool? Because I still am adamant that Coutinho never had a world-class season for Liverpool. He never did. He never had a world-class season for Liverpool, man. Liverpool, with the way that they are operating right now, they don't need Coutinho. They're not in need of Coutinho. Maybe Coutinho could help them. Maybe it would amplify them. But some Liverpool fans seem to think that, oh my gosh, man, Coutinho was so good for us back then. If we had him back, it would just elevate us. But can I just remind people that Liverpool won the Champions League and got 97 points in the league, all without Coutinho. So you got that all without Coutinho. Remind me again, why do you need him? Whatever job you need from Coutinho, Wijnaldum can do it better. If he's allowed to, Coutinho can do it better. So I've never really understood that notion. I've never really understood that notion of wanting him back at Liverpool, because I don't see what he's going to bring. I've always said that Liverpool need a number 10. They need that attacking midfielder. They need that creative force. But I feel that there are people out in the world that can fill that void better than Coutinho can. And the issue and the problem could be that if Liverpool do get Coutinho, maybe somehow he may actually upset the rhythm of the team. He may upset the rhythm of the team. But for Bayern Munich sake, 100%, I feel that Bayern Munich should go all out and keep Coutinho. Because just by looking at the few games that I've seen of Coutinho with Bayern Munich right now, I just don't see how this doesn't work. As again, the bare minimum is he has a good season, a decent season, and then maybe he can grow and have even a better season. But because who knows what will happen in this Champions League? Who knows? Because this is a very open Champions League, and this is a Champions League that if Bayern Munich play their cards right, they could really do something here. They could really do something in the Champions League. If no key players get injured, they could really do something here. And as I said, Muller is done. He's finished. Coutinho has come and taken Thomas Muller's role. And what Lewandowski has been praying for is that supporting player who can provide for him and take away the goal-scoring burden away from him. That is what Coutinho does. Because Coutinho is a provider. He is a creator. And we all know that is why he's called Flipping Coutinho. Because we all know about the amazing long shot that he has on him. So, personally for me, I don't see Coutinho going back to Liverpool. Him and Barcelona, that's done. So either it works out with him and Bayern, or Coutinho just going to have to go to another club. Maybe he goes to maybe he goes back to Inter Milan. But for me, I feel that Liverpool is out of the question. Barcelona is out of the question. So it's either Bayern or flipping going to another club. So yeah, guys, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button, guys, man. So guys, in the live chat, tell me, what do you think? Where should Coutinho go? Where should Coutinho go? Should Coutinho go to Liverpool? Should he go to Bayern? Should he go to someone else? Where should he go? Where should he go? Where should he go? Oh my, wow. What some people do and say in this live chat is interesting. Okay, so next topic on our list, man. Let me bring this up, man. The chef. One of the greatest strikers of his generation. Generation. You could never convince me that a group that consisted of Ukraine and Portugal and so forth, that Ukraine would come top of that group. Ukraine don't have anybody. That's not me being harsh, me being unfair. Ukraine don't have anybody. Zinchenko, really? So Zinchenko is no one. And the trend that happens in football is great players don't make great managers. They just don't. You know, the great players and great managers. That is just a disconnect. That is a very clear and distinct disconnect. But Shevchenko has done something amazing with this Ukraine team, because we cannot understate this achievement. Because this is what you call management. It is what I criticize Pep Guardiola for. Can you galvanize a team? That's the thing for Ukraine. Is like, why this is great management on the part of Shevchenko is, how effective can you make a team who don't have any truly world-class players? Because if you have a world-class player, you can always lean upon them to come through. You can always lean upon them to make that money move, to make that right move, to really take you to the next level. But for Shevchenko, he's like, what pieces do I have, and how can I get the best out of these pieces? And that is what he's done. So, yeah, they ain't winning the Euros. They're not going to win the Euros. They may go far. Quarters max, maybe. But this in itself is a huge achievement, because, my gosh, Portugal, these are the European champions. So to finish and qualify ahead of the European champions is a huge deal. Massive deal. And if you ask Shevchenko right now, this is probably one of his most proudest moments in his career. I mean, you can look at his Champions League medals, his Serie A medals, his golden boots, his Ballon d'Ors, his milestones that he has had and everything. This has to be one of his greatest achievements. And because I was such a fan of Shevchenko, because he was such a huge deal for me growing up, I really am in awe and I admire what he's done. I fully admire what he's done, which is completely amazing. And I wish him luck, because again, I remember when Maradona took over the managerial job of Argentina. I prayed. I so wanted Argentina to do well. I so wanted to do it, because I was like, man, if Maradona, a guy who was so iconic as a player, if he can come as a manager and as a coach and deliver Argentina to a World Cup glory as a manager, that would be huge. That would be a great story. That is why it was so amazing to see what Zidane did. Because we all saw Zidane as a player, and we're like, man, this is one of the greatest players of all time. He is a horseman. And for Zidane to now come into the managerial role and then to deliver 3 seals in a row, you're like, whoa, wow, he's that dude. Whoa, wow, he's that dude, man. So, yeah, man. So, as I say, kudos, well done to the nation of Ukraine, well done to Shevchenko, and It's a proud achievement. And you know what this shows? I think this is the beauty about football. You can have as many star players as you want, as many superstars as you want, who play for the biggest clubs you want, Man City, Juventus, so on and so forth, Dortmund. Football is never won on paper. It is won on the pitch through tactics, strategy, and implementation of a particular viewpoint that you have in trying to win the game. Superstars won't let you win the game. It's about what you do on that pitch. Who wants it more, and who are best prepared to implement their plan. But in the game, that was of course not the only thing. We had a milestone from Cristiano, 700 Gs. 700 Gs from your boy Cristiano. Congrats, because look, as I said again, I'm not gonna hate here. I'm not gonna hate, you know. To get 700 career goals is huge. It's an amazing feat. And I've said this many times, that he has to go in as one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. He's one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. Because that is an insane number of Gs. That is an insane number of Gs. And there is nothing to hate upon. There is nothing to hate upon. Because what I said and echoing on my video is, you look at all of the different teams he played for, all of the different systems he's played for, the different managers he's played for, the different players he's had to play for, and still to find a way to adapt his game, mold his game, and maintain that goal scoring quality, I think is amazing. I think it's amazing. I mean, I would have liked it to be a goal from open play, for it to be the 700 goal. I would have been better if it was not a penalty. But it is what it is. You have to give him kudos. And look, as I said again, people always want to say that's okay. I'm against Cristiano. I'm against Christina. I'm against this and that. Blah 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 blah, and so and so forth. I just keep it real. I just keep it real, man. And my real take on this whole thing is, it's a great feat. But the point I was making is that shouldn't be the headline. That should. They lost the game. So them losing the game, the headline is Ukraine won the game and qualified for the Euros. Then the sub-headline under that is Cristiano gets 700 goals. But you got 700 goals scoring a penalty in a game that you lost. You lost the game. Last I checked, isn't this about winning and losing? How do we celebrate losers? So that's the thing. How do we celebrate? We can't celebrate losers. Because are you saying that I shouldn't tell the whole story? The whole story is Cristiano scored a penalty, getting 700 goals in a game that his team lost, therefore unable to automatically qualify for the Euros. So, and then I had this little guy here, say something. He said that, who cares about Ukraine? Well, Ukrainians do, I think. Scoring 700 goals is big. Only 5 players done it. Actually, only 5 players have done it. Please, if you're insulting, please get your grammar right. You Nigerian fraud. Maybe I need to check my birth certificate because maybe my parents were lying to me. Maybe they were lying to me. Because if I'm a Nigerian fraud, does that mean that I'm not really Nigerian? So I am pretending to be Nigerian. I don't understand. Or is it that I'm just a fraud? But why do you have to say that I'm a Nigerian fraud? Just call me a fraud. Why do I have to be a Nigerian fraud? You know, so eh, that's just where I'm just confused there. But but see, that's the thing, man. I'm always going to tell the whole story. I'm not just going to be here and tell you half a story or just what the cool thing is. Because for me, as a guy that runs a football channel, I felt a way that nobody was talking about Ukraine qualifying for the Euros. It's like they qualified for the Euros, and that's an amazing achievement. They won the game and qualified. But how is the story that Cristiano scored 700 goals? Like, and see, and the thing for me here is that I'm not a stat merchant. I'm just not. I will compliment you. I will congratulate you on the stats that you've achieved. But it's the trophies you've won. I want to see your Champions League trophies. I want to see your Continental trophies. I want to see your league trophies. I want to see your World Cup trophies. Because that is how you think. I don't care about your Ballon d'Ors. I don't care about your stats. I don't care about any of your other milestones. How I grew up in determining truly great players was the trophies you won, and how as an individual you helped to contribute to winning those flipping trophies. So that's where we stand here. So I mean, last little thing here before I actually get to the last few things of questions is Giroud. So Giroud has come out and he has said that he is angry that he's not playing, and if he doesn't play more, he's going to be leaving in January. Giroud, you scored on the weekend. Oh, sorry, I think a few days ago. I think it was yesterday or something. So Giroud, bro, look. What top team could Giroud start for? Is there a top team that Giroud could start for? That's an even deeper question. Is there a top team that Olivier Jeremiah Giroud could start for? I don't know. I really don't know, because Giroud can do a job for you. But sometimes Giroud needs to understand that Giroud, you're not people are saying you're United. Bro, United, man. See, if I'm Man United, I go all out for Giroud. If I'm Man United, in January, I go all out full on for Giroud. And Giroud has to be Giroud is based on where United are right now, Giroud is a straight starter for United. You put Rashford out on the wing, Giroud is a 100% straight shooting starter for Man United. He has to be. He 100% has to be. But my thing is this: is that no, come on, that's being rude. Somebody said Saint-Etienne. Saint-Etienne, come on, guys, be real. You're not going to be starting for. As long as Tammy Abraham is fit, you're not starting ahead of Tammy Abraham, and they're going to be fighting Batshuayi, because again, I believe Batshuayi actually scored in the last game against Southampton. You're going to be fighting against Batshuayi. So Giroud, you've got to just be real with yourself. You've got to be real with yourself. That you've got to know what your level is. You ain't starting for Inter Milan, you're not starting for Barcelona, you're not starting for Real Madrid, you're not starting for Bayern Munich, you're not starting for Man City or Liverpool or Arsenal or PSG. You've got to go lower. And then if we bring in, let's say, a Sevilla, or we bring in an Atalanta or so forth, they're already catered for. So there are very few teams that Giroud you can start for. So if I'm Giroud, what do I do? I think you have to think of moving, because look, if he's worried about his place in France, he shouldn't really be worried, because I think Deschamps Deschamps has a lot of faith in him because Giroud wasn't even a full-on regular starter, and he still got a starting place at the World Cup. So Deschamps just really likes him as his striker. But if you desperately want to start Giroud, you're going to have to make that move. And I'm not sure about the place. I don't know a top team that can take you. You're going to have to move down a level. But let me be real right now. Man United, if Giroud is on the market in January, go for him. Go for him. Go for him. That's what I'll say. All right, let's make this super chat here. So guys, send in your questions right now. Last 10. Let's give it 15 minutes. 15 minutes of questions. Send in your questions and I will view the questions via the live chat. Send in your questions via the live chat. I will view them. If you want your chat or your question to stand out, use the super chat. Click on the dollar icon. Donate to your boy. Very happy to take in your donations. Get a starving man to eat, and then I'll answer thy questions. So, €2 super chat here from Happy Feet 1835. Thank you very much for your super chats. Giroud would be a superstar in Boychester. Based on where United are right now, Giroud would be a superstar. United are so bad. They are so low. They are so crap. They are such garbage that he would actually be a superstar. So yes, Happy Feet, I do agree with you that if he was to move, I think it would actually be a great move. It would actually be a great move. So I don't know whether United fans are would not be happy with that move, but based on the situation that they're in right now, it's very chocolatey. Would be wise to take Homeboy. So I believe it would be very wise of them to take to. Guys, I know this is off topic. I think I'm gonna have a banana split tonight. I think I may have a banana split tonight. I'm gonna order myself it's been ages since I've had a banana split. So after I'm done with this live chat, I am going to order a big ass banana split because I just have to. Let's see. How many? So shout out to our Patreon member Josh Bourne, who is a moderator and a Patreon member as well. Remember, guys, let me hit this up, man. Let me hit up this Patreon, man. Why not, man? Hit up the Patreon, guys, in the description box below, or head to the website and become a Patreon member. Become a member of thy Patreon, where you will gain access to extra content. And I put up 2 new videos. There is a video focusing on Liverpool, Manchester United, the build-up to the massive game that will be happening, and also there is a what we call it. So there's a build-up to that game. Also, there's also a build-up as well to. No, there's a De Bruyne video that I do focusing on De Bruyne and why De Bruyne is yet to be a legendary player, all on the Patreon platform. And also think about becoming. No. Half Up Thoughts. This is my entertainment channel. Many people don't know I have an entertainment, film, random thoughts channel called Half Hop's Hot. Just head to the main page of the Half Up Football Hot YouTube and click on the suggested channels. Or just head to the official website, halfoffootballhot.com, scroll down, and on one of the badges, click on the Half Up Hot icon, and remember to subscribe. I am on my way to it. I need 1,000 subs. I need 1,000 subs. Sub. So yes, for Josh Bond, Josh Bond says, how many new City fans will there be if United gets baptized by Liverpool? Wait, Josh, I don't really understand that question. How many new City fans will there be if United gets baptized by Liverpool? Wouldn't it be? But don't City want United to win, though? That's the thing. Don't City want United to win? Surely City wants United to baptize Liverpool because City wants to win the league. So, and that's the funny thing. If you're a City fan, what do you want to see more? Liverpool baptizing United or United baptizing Liverpool? Which means more? Your local rival being trounced or your title rival being trounced? Does it really matter whether your local rival gets trounced or not? Surely trophies mean something. Surely they mean something. But do you know what is crazy? Most City fans actually prioritize the flipping Premier League trophy over the Champions League trophy, which I find completely dim-witted. No way in hell am I ever saying the Premier League trophy is more important than the Champions League. That is the dumbest idea anyway. Only if you're a damn Premier League merchant or you live in a flipping Twyford, you don't have a flipping passport, you live in a small village where you break bread with flipping sheep and you speak to Johnny the Pig 24/7 and you eat mush pie and black pudding, do you believe that the Premier League is more important than the Champions League? And if you do, there's a world that exists. Black people exist. Chinese people exist. Mongolians exist. Have you been to Greenland? Have you been to Alaska? A world exists outside of flipping Twyford, you flipping Premier League merchants. The CL will always be much more important. The Champions League is the most important club trophy in football. Don't use your damn dim-witted, punk-ass, colonialist Premier League propaganda. Thank you, whoever gave me that £2 super chat. Thank you very much. Off topic, how do you rate Adriano, the Emperor? If you're speaking about Brazilian Adriano, thank you very much Beata Klompt. Thank you very much for your donation, Beata Klompt, for your $2 donation. How do you rate Adriano, the Emperor? Adriano was overrated. There was no reason why Adriano was OP and OTT in that Pro Evo game. It was stupid. He was never that good. He was never that good. He had like maybe one good season where he was really good at shooting because he had a very powerful shot. He was never that good. Immobile, couldn't really dribble, and was a very, very limited player. Way overhyped. And I even remember it at that time that, bruh, this guy was flipping overhyped. From George Lyle, thank you much for your £2 super chats, Mr. George Lyle. So George Lyle says, top 3 goalkeepers, fullbacks, centre backs, CDMs, CMs, cams, wide players, and centre forwards. That's a tough one, George, but let me try it. Top 3 keepers: Stegen, Oblak, Edison. Fullbacks: Robertson, I don't think there's a Robertson, Joshua Kimmich, and I'm still going to ride with maybe Alba. So Robertson, Joshua Kimmich, Alba. Maybe no. Sorry, no. Robertson, Semedo, Joshua Kimmich. CDMs. Casemiro. I'd still say I'd maybe say Casemiro, Fabinho, Fabinho. Who am I missing? I can't say, but Vidal. Can I say Vidal? Yeah, I'll say Vidal. Central midfielder: Kanse, Verratti, De Bruyne. No, because Kanse, Verratti. Let me think. Man City, Man United, Real Madrid. So Kanse, Verratti, Thiago Alcantara, Cam, De Bruyne, Wijnaldum, De Bruyne, Wijnaldum. Who am I missing? Marco Reus. Wide players: Sancho, Mane, Gnabry. And centre forwards, Lewandowski, Benzema, um, and Cannibal Suarez. There you go. It was hard. That was hard. But I tried my best there. Ahmed Shusha, thank you for your 199 super chats, Ahmed Shusha. World Cup or Champions League, objectively, in terms of what? In terms of what? If you're saying that in terms of which is more important, World Cup all day, every day. In terms of quality, Champions League, because it's the best possible players put everywhere. In terms of my personal enjoyment, always the World Cup. There is nothing more joyful for me than countries, because I try to explain to people that, like, club football is cool because I just love football. There is nothing much more amazing than a country playing another country, because it's not just football. You're playing a way a particular country and culture interprets for football. Like the way Nigerians interpret football is a very particular way that Italians do, how Germans do, how Ghanaians do, how flipping South Koreans do. And I think when you just see those clash of styles come together, it's amazing. Hence why I never understand the notion that, oh my gosh, we're playing Manchester United, the big club now. No. Manchester United right now are crap. The United now have nothing to do with the United of 5 or 6 years ago. Italy will always be good. Germany will always be good. Spain will always be good. Brazil will always be good, because there is just a genetic cultural consistent quality of those countries. So when you're playing, I remember one time I was part of this team and we played against Brazil. This is just like some thing you kick around, and these guys were bloody good. This was a regular Sunday kick around, but because they were Brazilian, they were pretty good. Every time I play with either Spanish or Italian, sometimes even Egyptians, but every time I play with Italians or Spanish, these guys technically are always very, very good. And it was also funny. The way a football match goes when I play with English people, as opposed to when I play with either Italians or Spanish, is very different. With English, there's a lot of shouting, screaming, get rid, hit the ball, run by, get in, blah, blah, blah. But whenever I play with Italian and Spanish, it's just about technical skill. The ball is always on the ground, and it's about just hitting it shots. There's not really that much shouting. So it's just much more skill-based. It's always I don't know how many people have that experience of playing football with, like, English, Scottish, Irish people, and playing it with Spanish, Italians as well. Playing with Nigerians can be tricky because there's always a bloody argument. So from Brian K002, thank you for your £2 super chat. Thank you very much. What happens if Pep doesn't win the Champions League and Premier League? If Pep doesn't win the Premier League, I think it's fine. I don't think that it's not that much of an issue because he's already won it twice. Although he would like to win it 3 times in a row. I think winning it 3 times in a row puts him on that kind of echelon with United. If he doesn't win the Champions League, we have to ask questions, guys. We have to ask questions. Champions League it's the big one. That's the big cake. Because in the Champions League is where you're really, truly tested as a coach and as a manager and as a tactician. It is where you're truly 100% tested. So if you can't do it there, then I think you're really much screwed. So we have to really refrain from praising Pep if he can't flipping do it in the damn CL. We we have to really question just how much that we really view him. The best Romanian player ever is George Hagi. 94 World Cup, was one of the best players of the 94 World Cup, has scored one of the crazy goals I've ever seen. George Hagi is the best Romanian player of all time. Hey, Ramsky, shout out to your boy Ramsky. If some of you haven't seen Brazil v Italy 1994, I highly recommend it. I remember I was in Nigeria. I was young. I don't want to give out my age. I remember that World Cup final. I thought that World Cup final lasted for about 8 hours. I remember, because again, I was young, so I didn't really fully understand the concept of football, and I didn't understand the concept of extra time. I remember when I watched it and I left the room and I came back. I said, wait a minute, this match is still going on? This match is still happening? And I think just for a young kid, that match felt like it took 5 hours. It took 5 hours. And as clear as day, I remember, clear as day, I remember when Baggio missed that penalty. Because for me, remember, Baggio knocked us out. Baggio knocked us out of the World Cup, and he was having an amazing World Cup where he was single-handedly carrying Italy all the way. So it was all about Baggio Romario. And when Baggio was about to take the penalty, I was like, okay, come on, Romario scored. Of course, Baggio's going to score. When he skied it, it was like, oh my god, one of the most iconic images in football, 100%. Is HH more bold than Hazard is fat? Okay. By the way, I am going to watch Joker for the third time this week. So I don't off top and everything. I'm going to watch it for the third time this week. So sue me. Also, as well, because again, as well, I told you guys, my other channel is Half Hopes Hot. Remember to join it, Half Hopes Hot. That is my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description box. I just put out a simple video that said that don't hate on LeBron James for saying that before speaking on this whole Hong Kong China situation, you don't really know the full story. And you don't know the full story. It's very delicate. It's not a cut and dry good and evil thing. It's not. And everybody's like, oh my god, blah blah, you're blah, this. That's like, I mean, guys, come on, man. Come on. So now, people understand LeBron is now some kind of like a hater. He's now in league with the Chinese with the money. Give me a break, bro. Give me a break. Juju Man, basically, Juju Man is probably going to be a Wednesday guest. So at the moment, I'm trying to find out the whole guest speaker stuff right now. So what's happening is Tuesday, Monday, I'm going to try and make it red, but Monday is also the football dugout as well. So Monday is the football dugout. Tuesday, I plan on having Ford on Tuesday, Juju Man Wednesday, Daniel Tillock on Thursday. If he can do it, red on the Friday. And then, Saturday is my rest day. Then, of course, Sunday is how we try to... if I can't get red on the Friday, it will be the live Q&A. So, that's how we go. Don't say that name, please. Don't say that name. Do not say that name. Do not say that name. Okay, please, don't say that name. Nando's or KFC? I would say definitely not KFC. Nando's, although I am trying to be a vegan. Well, I'm trying to be a vegetarian. Really hard. I haven't eaten pork in about 6-7 years. I haven't eaten meat in about 4 or 5 years. I've not, man. Yeah, man, there were TVs in Nigeria, man. I don't know whether that's like an insult at Nigeria or something. Am I supposed to take that as an insult? Like, oh, there were TVs in Nigeria? Yeah, there were televisions in Nigeria, yeah. Ooh, jeez, ooh. No, I will not watch that crap in slow motion, so screw you. Are you good at football, HH? Put it this way. I've lost all my stamina. I am physically a brick. But one thing I've not lost is my ball control. And I can still dribble most people. But I think, I remember, I still have the sheets. I used to live in Geneva when I was, I think I told you guys this, when I was 10. So between 10 and 12, I lived in Geneva. And when I left, I was given a chance to play like a exhibition match for Servette FC. One of the big teams in Switzerland. But I'd left it to go. So yeah, I don't know. I did my as of right now, my football is now skill based, completely skill based. Like my stamina is horrendous. So don't expect me to be a stamina merchant, man. But yeah, don't know. Look, Chelsea Ajax, man, bro, that's gonna be big, man. Those are good. I mean, I think whatever the results, those are going to be two amazing games. Those are going to be two flipping amazing games, man. And I don't see Chelsea winning both games. If Chelsea lose twice, I don't know how they make it through unless they get very favorable results between Lille and Valencia. Because remember, Chelsea have to go to Valencia away. Chelsea have to go to Valencia away, which it is still very tricky. Then they have to hope that maybe Lille get a result against Ajax. But I mean, I think the best case scenario for Chelsea is draw with Ajax in Amsterdam. But Chelsea have to beat Ajax at Stamford Bridge. They have to beat them at Stamford Bridge. They have to. But what is much more intriguing is Dortmund, Inter Milan. I think those are going to be two amazing games. Because the thing about that is that Inter Milan have to win. They have to win. So if Inter Milan have an offensive approach at the San Siro, Dortmund are going to counterattack. It's a huge, massive, wide pitch. So Sancho been given the space by a team who has to get goals and are playing with a high line. My God, it's going to be an amazing flipping game. And I don't know who I'd put money on. Because Conte is a far superior coach to Lucien Favre, a far better tactician than Lucien Favre. But that Dortmund team, if given the space, can get in that ass. If you give them the space and you play open warfare, they can get in that ass. Like, see, Inter Milan beat Dortmund if Inter take it old school and Catenaccio. They beat them. Open warfare, wild west, bruh. See, it goes either way. So, I don't know what Conte's approach is going to be. Is Conte going to be like, you know what, chill, relax, the goal will come, let's just nullify Dortmund? Or will he be like, you know what, we can't be risky and sit back. We have to play with the initiative and just get that ass, man. Thank you very much, Willivius. Thank you very much. Rice or pasta? Rice or pasta? Pasta. Growing up was rice. You can, first of all, pasta can go with almost anything, and pasta is way more filling than rice. If you just had rice and stew by itself, it's not going to fill you up. You can have pasta and stew by itself with some Parmesan cheese as well, some broccoli on the side. That can fill you up. So my go-to and my staple is pasta. That is my go-to and my staple all the time is pasta, man. My NBA team has always been the Orlando Magic because of Penny Hardaway. Ever since I was watching it in Nigeria in the 90s, has always been Penny Hardaway. AJ, Joker as Heath Ledger or Joaquin? You see, for me, I just said, like, look, it's hard to compare them because they're all playing different Jokers. For me, personally, my favorite Joker, personally, for me, is Jack Nicholson. That's my personal favorite. But I think I gave the most credit to Heath Ledger based on just how much he did because I had no belief in him. But I think Joaquin Phoenix gave the most realistic performance. What Joaquin Phoenix did is, Joaquin Phoenix gave you the most believable performance of where this guy feels very real. The other performances are very larger than life and they're not believable. Like Joker in Dark Knight and Joker in Batman, they're not believable. They don't feel real. Joaquin Phoenix in this Joker film, he feels extremely real. So real. And that's just what makes the performance so haunting. So well, last one here from my Patreon amigo Josh Byrne. How far do you see Real Madrid going in the Champions League? Quarters max. That team I saw. I'm not sniffing the semis. Unless if they somehow get Pogba in January, then I'll say semis max. If they don't get Pogba or a big player in January, quarters max. Like, there's not enough there for, like, because if they reach the quarterfinals, they are facing either a Dortmund, a Barcelona, or a PSG or a Juventus. They face any of those guys, they're gonna get beat. Guys, it's been swell. It's been all good, guys. I will see you guys again tomorrow at same time tomorrow. I'll see you guys for another live show. So I'll see you guys and catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Stay true. Stay blessed. Peace.